This is the How Is He podcast, a deep dive into Carlo soccer with Podge and Papa, proudly sponsored by Curra Sports. Let's kick it off.
Welcome to episode 47 of the How Is He podcast, joined as always by my co-host Paul Papa Hurling here in the fantastic Ampifi Studios, Papa, right in the heart of Carlo Town. This week we have the last round of results, upcoming fixtures, Podge versus Papa, and we have a guest. A man who played for Evergreen from 6 years of age to 16. He then signed for Aston Villa. Played for Aston Villa for 5 years. He also had loan spells at Carlisle, Portsmouth. He left Villa then to sign for Shamrock Rovers. He left Rovers for mental health reasons, signing back with Evergreen, and also went back hurling with James Stephens. In his own words, he wanted to give League of Ireland another go, so he signed for Sligo Rovers on a 4-month deal before getting a deal with St. Pat's in 2019 for 2 years. He left Pat's in 2020 and retired from the professional game. He then went back to Evergreen and James Stephens, to where he's still playing this day. His accomplishments, and this is actually the first time ever we had to go over a page. He has a next-gen Champions League with Aston Villa, Premier League reserve winner at Aston Villa, Under-16 International Player of the Year. He represented Ireland from 16s to 21s. With Evergreen, he's won everything in Kilkenny, including runners-up in the FAI Junior and Leinster Junior Cup. In total, he has 110 professional games, scoring 30 plus goals. A massive welcome to Mikey Brennan. Mikey, how are you?
Oh, thanks, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
That's not bad, is it?
Thanks for coming on. It's great. It's great to get you on. It's great to have someone who was a professional, someone who is a fantastic footballer still. Broke our hearts, Papa, with Kilkenny in the second game, right?
Yeah, sure, you don't give a lad like that room, do you? Going to punish you, isn't he?
You're still playing Evergreen, tipping away?
Yeah, still tipping away. We want to be. I think we've only played 4 or 5 games in the league this year, so we're playing kind of catch up. But yeah, look, it's been good. It's been enjoyable. So I think that's the main thing for me, is to enjoy it, and I try to get that across to the lads as well that are playing, just to make sure you enjoy it and enjoy the time you're playing, especially with your friends and lads you've grown up with.
Yeah, it's a big club though, Mike, you're right.
And it is good. Like, the facilities out there are top class, like, especially from where it was to where it is now, and it's only going to get bigger again. So it's fantastic, and look, the club deserve all the
some self. I was down there last year with Hanover 35s against Evergreen 35s. My God.
Yeah, it's like the two Astros.
It's like a room out there at the fucking Dublin airport getting into it, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, for the facilities, you'd probably have Salt Hill probably up there for a junior club, and other than that, most League of Ireland clubs probably don't have the kind of actual set up that we have. 2 full Astros, yeah. The main grass pitch and the other grass pitch then as well that they'd use. Sure, there'd be so many teams.
Do they host anything like the Galway Cup? No, the way Salt Hill Devons host that.
No, not like that. No. I think they do like the
facilities like that.
Like the South, this regionals, and I think a lot of, say, like All Ireland's, I think they bring them down.
Interleague games and things like that.
To Evergreen, so it just shows
the parking is crucial, like, isn't it?
The room massive, that's what I mean. Like, and they could probably do with more parking, especially when there's big games on and that as well. Like, there's a lot.
But even before the Astro there, I remember going down there at Pat's. Like, it was still a savage pitch. Like, you know, the grass pitch there was
that grass pitch is unreal. Like, that's what we haven't played in it this year, obviously with the weather and all that. But I much prefer playing on grass, and it's unreal. People love saying, like, oh, why aren't we playing on the grass? Why aren't we playing on the grass? Yeah. Even though I'd much prefer it, but it's Mick there looks after it well, like, so yeah, you want to watch it, like, but we're hoping we're going to kind of start maybe going on to it now. The weather's getting a little bit better towards the end of the season. So
same kind of boy, aren't you?
We are. I enjoy training on the Astro, especially for phases of play and things like that. I love putting sessions on the Astro, but I'd much rather play our games on grass.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, because I just think that it's a truer game. Yeah. Like on the Astro, as you know, the ball could bounce and spin backwards, like, or could not bounce, or do you know what I mean? What do you think the big difference is between both of them?
Well, for me, is the injuries that people are getting. Like, for like say, since when I came back from the hurling this year, in I think it was November or something like that. Like, we basically kind of played on grass most of the time. I think we played once or twice in Astro. Played Salt Hill there last week on Astro, and my back was absolutely in bits after it. But when I was been playing on the grass, my hips and that'd be sore, but that's just from the kind of soft ground. But my back after
You'd
that
recover
Astro
though, wouldn't you?
was killing me.
Yeah.
And it's still killing me. Like, but
Yeah.
it's just the whole. I know it's just it feels much better playing on.
I think
Plus,
so.
it's constant impact, Mikey, isn't it? You know, it's constant, like...
Yeah, especially lads with knees and hips,
Yeah.
like, and their
Yeah.
back problems and all that stuff. I think it's just probably only going to get worse, especially for young lads that are constantly playing on it.
If you're
Yeah.
playing games that competitive, like against Salt in 3 or 4 weeks in a row, you probably wouldn't play to the standard you can produce 3 or 4 weeks in a row because of that.
That's what I mean, because niggles and all that stuff happen. Like, and especially like when you go into training, you might have to miss training on a Tuesday then, and you're literally just trying to recover for maybe do a little bit of Friday just for a Sunday, like, and that's just junior football. Like, that probably shouldn't be the case.
No, I know, yeah.
So,
Yeah. We do have questions for you, right? We won't get into them yet, Pop. We'll do the results. There wasn't many games in Carlow this weekend, was there, due to the weather?
No.
I know Vale Wanderers bet Parkville 4-3 to win the Division 2 in the youths. Congratulations to them. In the youths under 18 girls, Ballymurphy 2, St. Felix 0. That was in Felix. Vale Wanderers 2, Nerney 0. That was in Vale. We were scutched 4-0 on Saturday by Rock Celtic.
You bad?
No, I watched the game though. They're very good. They have 5 or 6 ex-League of Ireland lads in between like 36 and 40, and they just control the game. Like, I was very impressed with them. I had watched the game they were playing previously that was sent to me, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll turn these over. No, not a chance.
They were
very good.
semi-finalists last year, I think, weren't they?
Yeah.
Lucan beat them, was it?
No, in saying that, the goals were completely avoidable, and we probably handed them 3 out of 4 goals, and one of them was a penalty, like. You know, and if we were playing this weekend, I don't think the bet is 4-0. We didn't help ourselves. Burn gave no walk over Saturday night.
That's a strange one because I looked at the app and there was 14 lads on the app on the Connect. And I heard that there was 12 lads in the dressing room, and then I don't know what happened to them. They just give a walk over. You walk around the field warming up seemingly. All there ready to go, and the game was just pulled. Pity.
It is a pity.
It's like someone put on Twitter, if you have a B team and a youth team, you shouldn't give a walk over really if they're not playing.
Definitely not. Well, especially
And
if you're warming up and they're ready to go and you had the players.
Anything is better
I don't
than
see
walk
that
over.
because lads are giving up their time as well.
Of course,
they don't
yeah.
realise that, like,
Yeah.
people are giving up their time and to do that.
Both teams travelling down there as well.
The reality is you want to play.
Of course you do.
That's the reality, and I don't understand how you can't. Now, look, I don't know the ins and outs of what went on at Burn, but
Well, the week before I couldn't wait and help them. They would put him in looking at 2 Drummonds in a row. You beat them 8-0 and then you walk would have beat them comfortably, I think. But
we won't go over the week before's results. But I will mention New Oaks win against Wexford Boys. Your own mate got the winner, Chrissy Blake.
Oh, did he?
Or claims to be his friend, does he?
yeah.
Is he?
He's like, I met him on College Street. He was like Boris Becker with the tennis racket. Yeah, it was some win. James McGrath got a red card after 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No, there's a friend of mine was at. He was telling me, he said, and then just New York just dug in with 10 players and they had good chances in the game, but then Chris scored, I think, in extra time, and Craig Carney saved the penalty with
Brilliant.
start of the second
Good
half or at
goalkeeper.
the end of the first half in extra time. Great. I seen the save, it was brilliant save, and great result because they could have been thinking the worst after what happened to them last year down there missing the players. And then I seen the squad, there was no Keane Cleary, there was no Dotsy. James got a red card down to 10 men.
Dylan Kitely didn't start.
Dylan Kitely didn't start. You're like, Jesus Christ, this is same story, because I think they're a better team than Wexford Boys.
Oh, they
but
are,
yeah, you could have been thinking the worst, but fair play to them. Some shift to 10 men.
Are you still in that, Mike, Leinster?
Yeah, we're actually playing this weekend now against Clonmullion away.
On the winners playing North End, is it? Did I see that?
Is the draw been made, has it?
No, North End play St Michael's.
No, that's
the FEI.
that's the FEI, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if the draw was made yet, but
Come on, you're good.
yeah, it's tough down there.
Where
as
is
well.
that? Down there?
In the tie, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Thanks
tough.
When is that on?
Thanks
Tough
for coming.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday 2:00, so be a tough one. But look, it's the one that will back. Like I think if we turn up on our day, we'll win. But
They have
going
individually
away,
super players,
they
don't
have good. They do have good, and going down there, it's a tough place to go.
It's a hard
tough
place to go.
So
Doesn't
Like-
get much tougher than that.
no,
you
that's
said
what
it.
I mean. So
It doesn't.
the pitch doesn't help, and the surroundings of it as well. So,
Yeah.
but look forward to it. They're the games. Look, you have to. If you want to go win these competitions, you have to go and
You go while they put a shift in
go
there.
and win. So
Yeah.
yeah.
This quarterfinals.
No, this last 16.
Last 16.
So
Yeah, 2 more pop. Collection B 3, Ballymurphy B 2. I think Julian Strain got on the scoreboard for that. I think he got a hat trick. Good to see him back playing again. And the ladies then, Vale Wanderers 5, Ballymurphy 0. We'll get to the fixtures later on. Evergreen, Leinster runner-up medal, FAI Cup runner-up medal. Will you ever get your hands on one?
Stop. That actual Leinster one, that was the year I actually gave up.
Okay.
That was the year I actually gave up. I think it was in May or something like that. But the FAI that year that I went back playing, the journey of it, 'cause for me, leaving the professional scene and going back, and I just want to go back and enjoy my sport, enjoy playing with the lads. That year is probably one of the most enjoyable years I've had playing.
Was it? Yeah.
Playing soccer. Like, it was just the whole journey, and the camaraderie that we had between us was absolutely brilliant. Like, it was, like, I was trying to explain it, like that whole place, like from going away. Remember we went up to, where was it, up to Drogheda, I think. Went up, we won 3-2 up in last 32. Yeah, won 3-2 up there, and that was a game that were like, okay, we have a chance here to go. And look, unfortunately, we just met into a Sheriff team that are just,
they were just reaching
one of the
it,
best,
weren't they?
one of the best junior teams. And
Of
it was
all,
funny enough,
yeah.
because they said that was in the final. That was said that was probably the best they've played in about 18 months.
Yeah.
Sheriff said that.
They turned up. We didn't turn up. It was probably the worst game I've probably played in myself.
Is there a reason for that?
Probably, yeah. When I remember we were in the tunnel, but there was a lot of things going on before this. That texts were sent, supposedly people sending texts to each other and changing their name to my name and saying, "Oh, that all these lads are past it and we're going to do it," and all that stuff.
way.
And I heard all this after now, and that's why they were gunning for me, because remember we went out into the tunnel and we were walking, and I remember the centre half, I think it was Anto, I think was, name, just came straight, got a ball of water and just straight all over me. And I remember kind of just like, right,
Shock. What's this?
Jersey on, ready to go. Like.
ready to go around the tunnel.
Yeah.
Remember we were just, and I was like, right, that's just them trying to get in my head. Don't react, but thinking of it now, I should have reacted. And
You would have got out of your system.
yeah, like get out.
Yeah.
Have a. But our captain Neil Andrews was up top. He didn't know what happened, and he said if he would have known what happened, he would have turned and went. And if they see something like that, then might have changed for us. But look, that then I think I said no. They're just trying to get in my head. That's just meant. But
I remember I actually watched it back there a few weeks ago, because we had John Lester on here before you, and I watched it back a few weeks ago, and he actually started the game fairly well. I remember seeing Darragh Walsh play, and he got the ball about 25 yards out from goal, and he hit a shot, and he had there was about 3 or 4 lads in better areas, and they said, "Oh man, one better decision there, and you're in." I would have known Darragh from FC Carlow. Great play.
Yeah.
Is he playing now at all?
He's good. No, he's over in Manchester now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's over there. He's a physio in the
Good lad,
the
Darragh.
hospital there. So Darragh be one of my friends. He's in my friend group.
Okay.
So I mean, Darragh would be good friends, and he's a good player. Like, he's someone that we'd love to get back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no,
Were Sheriff strong favourites for that final?
Yeah,
They
were. I remember coming up to it. They were scrape. I remember in the semi final, I think they played Killarney Celtic, and they went down to 9 men.
Yeah, and the 1-1
and they still won. Went all the way down, and I think their keeper saved the penalty towards the end in extra time. They scored in extra time. I think it was something like that. You see, that's the difference. It's the know-how and it's the experience of doing it. We were kind of new to it, and
your man who flung the water at you, did he come over to you after the game?
Yeah, we actually spoke after upstairs when we went up to the players lounge or whatever, and up he said, "Look, said I had to do it," and said wanted to try because we knew we had to stop you to get us to do it, and look, it worked because it's the worst. It's the worst. Worst I've played, and it's something I actually regret to this day how I let myself be affected.
Were you
by
thinking
it.
about it on the field?
No, not really. No, I just and I'm joking. The whole game is a blur to me.
Seriously,
It's something that I do regret, because I tell you, like, if I would have turned up, I would have.
You were still a better team for long periods of it, though. Like the second half, I thought you were the better side.
Yeah, because we were kind of chasing the game as well, and we were kind of throwing a bit more kind of players forward.
Yeah.
But, that, like playing in the Aviva and all that stuff, and it was
great experience.
Like, for lads, it's a great experience actually for all lads. Like, and it was my first time playing there as well. Like, so it was fantastic to play there, but the result it still kind of haunts me. And as I said,
another day you could have turned over Sheriff. That was just a super Sheriff team.
It's just unreal. It's just
look.
As I said, they
John
turned
Lester
up
saying, "What did he? 31 trophies in 7 years." I think he said.
See, that's something like
Sheriff,
they're serial winners. Like, and you have to put it to them, like, because in junior football anyone can kind of turn each other over, but to do it for that longevity of 5 and 6 years, they won the FAI.
6,
like, that's
super, isn't it?
That's something else. Like, you have to put your hat to them, like, and that's the level that you probably need to get to. Even as you said, the North Ends, even the Michaels and
Gorey,
stuff like that.
Right?
Gorey, they've won it, but there's no going on to win it. Continuing to win it, like, because I suppose teams are probably getting a little bit better as well in junior.
It's a great
a lot of
tournament,
people
though.
are.
The FA Junior is a fantastic
Like,
competition.
I remember at the time, because the junior was bigger than the intermediate. I think at the time,
Yeah.
I think it used to be the junior used to get
Aviva
more.
backed it. Yeah.
So
like, it's a massive competition. But I just want to say on Evergreen, like, I mean, for the size of the club is now, from juveniles the whole way up, like, it's a monster.
the amount, I think there's over 1,000 players from under 6s all the way up, including the women's as well. There's over 1,000. I think there's well over 1,000. I think it's, and which is scary for
two pitches there anyway, don't you?
For Kilkenny, for I think that for Hurling, county
outside of the town, really now, like,
as they say, like, and the amount of, and there's some good players there.
Do you coach, Mikey?
Good players. I do a little bit. Look, they asked me to do a little bit kind of here and there, and look, I would like to get into it more, kind of like go and help the club, like, and because the club did help me a lot through kind of coming up, and the fact that I didn't have to go to Dublin and all that. So and so there's a bit of both their loyalty and I know they got a few pounds for me that kind of helped everything kind of get started up. So look, it's always look, it's a great club, and I'll always kind of be there and do coach or whatever they need. I'll always.
You'd be surprised how young lads will react to you, though. Have you said many a time where an ordinary Joe Soap could say it and they'd be like, okay, and then you could say it and it just comes across differently because it's you, say.
Yeah, well, like,
complimenting
maybe,
you know?
like, it's just probably, you know, like, maybe some of the young lads in there probably don't even know probably who I am. That's the other side of it as well, like, but but look, I said I'd love to give back and try and help.
Yeah, of course.
Especially, can we get someone else from Evergreen to stay and go over?
That's the attitude.
And you can give them the experience or your.
That's what I mean.
But with the volumes, though, Mikey, coming in, like, you're probably not that far away from it. But with the club where it is and it being a juggernaut, you just need to get one of them, a junior or a Leinster FAI, and I think that it's going to, like, just.
I think it could catapult it. That's when, like, this year, like we thought with the FAI, I still just thought there was something short, maybe that to make that little bit extra step in the FAI. I think that, like, the Leinster's, like, it's there to be won. Like, there's still a good few teams in it, but, like, it is there to be won. So
there's no bad team in it now.
To go, like, so that's what I mean. So look, you're going to have to play, but if you want to be that good team and best team, you're going to have to beat them all. So it doesn't matter when you get them. But
and there's the noise when you get to the last 8 or 16 is that there's no just a hope you avoid them.
Everyone's a good side.
Is a top class
that's
team.
what I mean. So as you said, it's just a matter of, like, sometimes you might get lucky to get a home draw, or sometimes, like, I think in the FA we played all our away games, obviously apart from Salt Hill. I think we're all away, like, and that could have suited us, like, even though we haven't really played well this year, we've been scraping through games, which was still a good thing to do, but we still haven't hit top gear yet, and
the league is affecting you. It's only having 4 or 5 games.
It's only 4 or 5 games. I know you were playing a lot of outside kind of competition and kind of you have weekends off and stuff like that.
But you need a strong league to be successful.
Yeah.
And even on that Sheriff thing, like, the reason they were so successful, the AUL then was a tough. The AUL Premier was different level.
Yeah.
Like, the Venny Dunard, Kilbarrack, like, there were
good games all the time.
There were always good games. Come here, talk to me about the process in signing for Aston Villa. 6 years of age, started Evergreen. Were you an academy player?
With Evergreen all the way up. Academy member. It's funny because I was actually playing a year above myself, and I didn't realise it until I was told when I was 10. They were like, you're actually playing a year above yourself. And I was like, what? I just thought I was always playing, like, I was always playing with the 93s, but I'm a 94, but I only got told at that time, like, you can actually play a year younger. And I was like, what? I was kind of like, how was this not kind of said to me before?
Did you play both then?
I stayed playing at the odd kind of game I would have played, say, maybe against freebooters and the big kind of the Leinsters or all that stuff.
Go on, I'll play.
I'd always I'd play then, but, like, the whole process of it was, as I said, I was lucky enough that I didn't need to go to Dublin, and like, even though I had teams onto me and onto my dad and saying, we'll offer you, we'll give you this, we'll give you petrol money, then we'll buy you a laptop or whatever the newest thing kind of was.
Right.
It was like throwing things, and I was just like,
DDSL clubs, obviously.
No, DDSL, like Belvedere, Cherry Orchard, Stella Mars. It was all the home farm. It was the big teams that were at the time that I would have been playing with the lads in Ireland, because it started with with the Irish team at 14.
Okay.
I used to do a few kind of things.
Was that in the back of a Kennedy Cup?
Back of it, yeah. So back at the Kennedy Cup, they would have kind of looked at me, and then I remember after that, then the under 14s, they used to do the Southeast trials for the Ireland
regionals,
the regionals. So I remember going there, playing. I remember it was in the RSC actually, and I think we won 2-1. I scored both, and I was straight up into the internationals straight away, and I was a starter. Like the thing was, I was just used to score goals. It was just.
Are them regionals gone now that the League of Ireland Juveniles is in? They were brilliant.
I don't recall.
I'm not sure.
Our best would have been Arklow. Would have been our best. They were brilliant, man.
Yeah, ours were down in Kingfisher, down in Waterford. I remember they were good because we did a good few. Kenny McAvoy, he was there with us. There's a few good players. Like when Conor Code, now that he's gone to Cove.
Yeah,
he was there. Like he was a good tidy player. I was just lucky enough that any time I didn't really think much. I was just going and playing, but then I was actually there was very few very good strikers now up in Dublin, and I was ahead of them like constantly, and I didn't really think kind of much of it, but I suppose anytime I went down to the pitch I scored, and that's all they wanted. And cause I remember at the time they loved me, they wanted me, and when I was kind of with England or in Villa, I was like the under, say I was under 16, like the 17s were looking for me as well, and stuff like that. Was kind of thinking of it now. Like, I remember I actually never see. This is where my head was like. I was kind of stupid. Like I was number 17s. I think I came back for that summer and went to go away for 10 days, and went up and I faked my groin was sore because I wanted to go back home.
Go ahead.
Did you?
Just like little stuff like that.
We'll get to that, but like. You get the call. Is there many clubs looking for you over in England?
There was a few. I remember. So obviously Villa. My first trial was actually in Redden.
Okay.
So I went to Redden.
They were on Irish Bulls, right? Kevin Doyle,
Shane Long, Stephen Hunt. They were all there. Like two of them were there, and remember I said we're going over, and that trial actually went alright. They wanted me back, and kind of not really materialised from it. And then I went. Then as I said, I went to Villa. I remember we played Preston in my first game there. Won 4-2. I scored 2. They brought me back 2 months later. That's when I was 14. Played against Man United in the old training ground. The Cliff in there. Lost 3-2, but I scored both.
Wow.
So from there, and then they offered me the contract. So I had 2 years to kind of know that I'm going to play soccer. Like I had a contract.
At 14, they're offering you a contract.
Yeah,
but you can't sign it till you're 16.
Well, I could have signed a pre-contract because they wanted me tied down to them.
Of course.
That's it. But then
no one else can take you, sort of.
Exactly, because like I had Sunderland onto me, Fulham.
What's going through your mind with all these names? Like, what are you thinking?
At the time, I don't really. I remember like this. Like I must have been kind of mentally stupid. I probably just thought that I was going to Villa, but I remember like Sunderland wanted me to go over and trial, and don't. But then I went up and played with them in the Galway Cup.
Okay.
And the head of the Villa Scouts was there, and remember he kept coming over and talking to me. How are you getting on? Are you enjoying it and all that stuff? Like no, he was over there watching as well, but he was constantly at me.
That was Anthony, right?
No, this was Sean Kimberley.
It's different lad altogether.
This was the head lad in Villa that was over watching and constantly onto me, and
he was terrified you're going to sign for Sunderland. They said
sign for someone else like that. I remember Swansea offered me a contract without me even going over.
Wow.
Stuff like
no agent.
Just your dad, was it?
Yeah, my dad. And I remember Richard Lowry kind of helped me actually sign the contract.
Right.
He was my coach all the way up. Him, Shane Keegan, Wickle Kenny, Ronnie Grace. It was a few lads I'm like probably missing out on, but Richard did it for me. And look, he didn't have the experience in it, but like I would have got more money, 100%.
Yeah.
Like even though at the time I was like, geez, this is still great. Like, but at the time he was just negotiating, just having someone there with kind of bit of money background, finance kind of background, and
it's crazy, isn't it?
That was just kind of the way it was, and it was just mental. The whole thing, like Ipswich got offer from Ipswich, Fulham,
just painting him away with a stick, boy.
It's just like at the time it was something I didn't. But yeah, when this was all happening, I was still playing hurling.
Yeah,
and I was still playing hurling in the background, and I was still enjoying it. And then, but like Villa were afraid I was going to, because obviously they offered me the contract, but like they were like, oh, he should give up that hurling.
Go away.
And all that
would
stuff.
Would they have insight in that?
Yeah.
You were, go away.
Yeah, it would have.
I wonder, did they know how important that is for the county you're in? Like, would they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think they knew, but I remember when I actually signed the contract. Eventually, when I was 15 or something like that, I still had about 7 or 8 months left to go.
Before you went, yeah.
And they actually went up to James Stevens where I was, and they watched hurling training, and they couldn't believe
you were joking
how
they come over and watched it.
They come over, yeah. They were over. They had to come over, and they were talking to me. It was actually in Spring Hill where we met them, and that's where we were negotiating and all that stuff. And sure, I'm just sitting there oblivious.
It's sure it must be nuts for a 15-year-old. Like,
so you don't know. Like, it's. As you said,
like, do you have the understanding that I'm going over here on my own now? Like, at this moment in time when we're signing, negotiating with people around me. But once I get to that 16, I'm going over here on my own.
Yeah. That's what I mean. But I remember my mum actually only said this to me the other day. She was like, I really wish I went over because Bill offered to give my parents a house and give them a job and all that stuff. And
set them up like.
I don't know whatever happened. I didn't want to ask her, but it's something. We didn't go. Yeah. It didn't materialise, and I don't. Maybe if they went over, it might have changed. Something might be different.
You know what happened with your parents? It would have been a lot easier for you. Obviously, first of all, was
that was the big thing.
And secondly, even if they didn't like their job in England, they would have done it to sacrifice it for you.
Yeah, that's something.
And then you could reap the rewards maybe down the line where
when you have all that stuff. Yeah, that's what I mean. But then, like, obviously, I had younger brothers and sisters as well, so I would have had to move them as well. So that was probably the bigger kind of picture.
What? Some families take that chance.
Oh, they do, yeah. That's what I mean. And like Villa at the time were willing to do kind of whatever to keep me kind of happy and that. So
16, what month was this you were going over then? Was it pre-season you started?
Yes, our pre-season. I went over in June. I think it was the 10th of June. I remember going over because when I was leaving, I remember like the crying. It was like someone died. Like,
really?
Someone, the crying, like, I remember I was on KCLR at the time in the morning before, and I was crying that I could barely talk and
go away.
All that stuff.
Nerves? Just filled with emotion?
It was kind of like, it was a bit of me not wanting to go, not wanting to leave home, because I was always a home bird. Yeah. But I was always like, obviously I couldn't turn down
Premier League club.
This situation. It's every lad's dream. You always say, I want to be a professional footballer.
So you're looking at it on the television, and in 2 years' time you could be saying, that could be me, the boy's looking at me.
That's what I mean. That's like, there's so much.
How realistic it was. Like,
because when I went over then, started pre-season and stuff like that, and I remember really struggling out the first 2 weeks. The digs I went into, I was with Graham Burke, and Kieran Clark was actually living in the digs as well at the same time, and I just remember I just kept crying, and I remember the digs lady come over, like, if we finished dinner one time and I just didn't, and she came over, she goes, "You okay?" And I remember just breaking down.
Go ahead.
She was like, "I can't," and this was only kind of 2 weeks into it, and I was like, I just can't do
just
this.
Just
homesick, missing everyone, kind of, because I had a good family, good friends, had good people around me, and just to get up and leave at 16, it was.
I think the reality is, Mikey, is that lads aren't ready to be a professional footballer at that age. Like, we had Kylie Murphy on here, and that's just stood out when I had Kylie on. Obviously, Wexford Youth's captain, won everything, but she gave up soccer, everything at like 17 because she was never a teenager.
Never lived her life.
Do you know what I mean? No. And you're like, you take someone of that age out of their social group, out of their sporting group, because you at that mentality, your mentality as a kid is, I'm missing out. I want to be home. What am I missing? I want to be home.
That's exactly what it is, because people don't realise that like that. Like, I've missed out on Debs, I've missed out on, say, the college life, or I know people say, but you're a professional footballer, and I said, I know, I understand that, but mentally what it does, like, I missed out on my kind of later teenage years, kind of
with all your buddies,
like,
my friends are doing this, like, why can't I do this?
Yeah, it's that. I know people are saying, like, but you're a professional footballer, you're doing this and that. I know that, but it's mentally what it does to you, that it's affecting when you're at home. Like, when I was in the digs and you're looking back and the lads say we're going out, and I know you're not missing much, but it's still to be with your friends. But you're over there and you're literally looking at, I remember it was laptops at the time, and Facebook was the thing, and just seeing like pictures up, and I remember just looking, I used to break down so many times.
Yeah.
But
that gathers its toll on you though.
Oh, it's massive, like how I didn't, but I never knew, kind of obviously get stuff with depression, like, but I never knew what that was.
Yeah.
What depression was, why I was feeling like this, why I was crying, why I was constantly in a dark room watching telly, like, and the sun would be splitting the stones.
Did Aston Villa have anybody for you to speak to?
No, like I remember later years, I remember I used to struggle. He used to go into the doc and he'd give me a few tablets, but never actually said like you're depressed or whatever, or send me to a psychologist or whatever. Spoke to once, and that was kind of it. Like, but like looking back at it now, it's so. I don't think I was mentally strong enough. Some people are. Some people are able to make that step. Obviously, in England it's different. Even some of the Irish lads, they're still able to make that step. But I don't think I was probably mentally strong enough.
I think about harsh to
be able
yourself.
to deal.
At the end of the day, you're 16 years of age, Mikey, right? I don't think you're mentally developed enough.
No, that's
like for me in 2025. Okay, if you're still going at 16, right? There should probably be a 3 or 4 week seminar or workshop or something for parents and kids to say, here's what you're facing into.
That was the big thing when I left.
Don't
was
just
my
throw 'em on the
message.
plane, like, where you go, son.
Kind of like there should be more to do because you have so much downtime in there. Like with after training, or you do your little bit of college work on a Tuesday and Thursday, but there's so much downtime. They should have, even if it's once or twice a week, right, lads? The youth team will bring them to the cinema. Yeah, just something to do, little or. If you want to learn an instrument, something like that, something that's so simple rather than just right. They used to put you say in the digs, but yet you had to be in at 8:30. Okay. If you wanted to go, if cinema was on at 8:00, you couldn't go because the digs would actually tell Villa, and then you would get in trouble, or you might get a fine or whatever. And like they want you to be man, but then they wouldn't allow you to stay out. Yeah, as if you were trying to have a bit of fun or
like
whatever.
a juvenile delinquent, isn't he?
They're removing decisions for you, right?
Literally.
Jesus
I can't get my head around that that free time thing. I think that leads into a lot of issues for kids that go over there. Well, not anymore because they're 18, right? But at 16 years of age, talk me through your day then, and talk me through, like, is the majority free time?
Yeah, like, so remember we used to have to meet in Sutton Coldfield. I remember at the turn circle, the mini bus used to pick us up. That was at about 9 o'clock. Get into trains 9:15. Go in. You might do your proprioception in the morning, and then you might either have a gym session or you go.
What the fuck is proprioception?
So it's all kind of like balancing work. Say with a ball. Say if you're standing on it, there's like a
balance
like the half,
yeah.
like standing on it and just tipping it back, but trying to keep your balance.
Yeah, okay.
All that kind of stuff. Then you probably go either the gym or you go mainly training, and then you come back in, have a bit of lunch, and then you do the gym session. And you'd be back and all like this was probably 2 or 3 times a week. And then you'd be back in the digs probably 3:30, 4 o'clock. But then you'd have the college work on so Tuesday and a Thursday you wouldn't do any gym. You might do that in the morning before you go out for training. So that was kind of the kind of routine kind of it, like, but
it's not the perfect picture either, is it?
No, it's not. Difficult. Like people don't like that's why people don't see that. They don't realise the other side of it. Like people just think like fresh footballer, money, living the life. That's it.
Why would you come home? You're not able for. Why would you come home?
That's what I mean.
You don't know what I'm dealing with, man.
Like the people don't. Again, everyone's different. Everyone's different. But my mental health just deteriorated, and when I hit 18, started gambling, and that was me kind of.
Talk to me about that.
Done. Gambling took over my life.
Go ahead.
Did it?
Took over my life. Lost everything. Like even to now, I've probably since went to last year, I'm only fully off gambling a year and 2 months. Come the end of this month, before that I might go 2 or 3 months right and giving up gambling. I'd do all this, but I would always go back at constantly, and it took over my life. Lost everything, lost relationships over, not because of them, but the reason because of my mentality. I didn't give a shit about anybody.
Yeah.
I just didn't care like that. If I was going gambling, if I lost all my money, I wouldn't care. I would just go again, get more money, borrow more money. Just constantly do that. It just took over my life, and the fact that it's taken me this long, even though I'm out of the game for like mental health reasons and for gambling, it's taken me this long to actually realise like what was I actually doing? Like I've no money, I've no house, like no nothing. I should have a house by now, and I'd probably have a bit of a mortgage, or I could have it paid off if I'd done everything right. But I just took over my life because the amount of free time that I've had, used to just go gambling, and
goes hand in hand, right?
hand in hand. Because I remember we got paid on a Friday, and we used to get paid every month, and I lost and I was on pro contract, and I lost every single bit of my money on that Friday.
You can tell me to fuck off now, but just give us a rough monthly. Like, are you talking in thousands?
Yeah, it would have been on, like, I remember, like, so each month you'd get, I would probably say, this is when I first, now when I was 18, I probably would have had about £2,500 like at the time. That would have been into my,
a lot of money for a 16-year-old, right?
Well, it would have been 17 for
17, okay.
for the pro when that turned.
Yeah, but that's
a lot of
just
money.
profit. You're not paying for digs or anything like that.
No, that's when everything was paid for. Like, that's all
so
meant
just,
to be.
that's your money.
Profit.
That's it.
When if I had a right head, or if people at the club were just like, right, I think you should maybe, when you get paid, we're going to take this money, put it into whatever.
It's whatever, yeah.
Whatever they do. But they just didn't, and that was, look, again, that's me. That's not up to, as I said, it's not up to the club, but there should be more advice and more mentoring there for that
tell
side
you what
of
it is,
it.
Mikey. It's too easy to do what you do. Where there's not enough protection around
to do it, like, and it's just crazy that's like because the mental health suffers, and then the gambling comes into it. And I used to always, like, even though I'd stop gambling, and lads would, and I'd be like, no, I'm stopping, but I always in the back of my head I was going to go back gambling. I used to lie constant. It's the lying that was the biggest thing for me. Like, it was just so easy. It's so easy to lie. You can't see it, but it's so easy to lie about it.
But when you get away with it, like, you're probably saying, yeah, but the fooling
it's
him.
grand, that's what I mean.
There's some feeling, I'd say, you know.
It's the guilt, right?
Oh, it's the guilt of what you've done to my relationships, to just literally lost.
The money's nothing, or the winning of the gambling is nothing. It's when you remove yourself from it, the one massive harbour is the guilt.
Yeah, like, looking back at it now, as I said, like, the fact that it's taken me this long to actually really, and like, I feel like I'm only actually kind of fully being myself now in the last 14 months, which is crazy. But look, there was times in between that, look, you'd have, but I think fully what I've done to myself, and like, regarding, like, say, having to borrow money, having to get loans out, I still have a big debt like that I have to pay, and that's on me, and that's my fault, and that's my responsibility.
Yeah.
And I've, like, no one to blame. I used to go to say, like, just to probably get people off my back, I'll go to see a counsellor, and I'll go to the doctor, I'll go back on my tablets, or I'll do whatever, just to get people off your back. Because but then 2 or 3 months you're like, I'll be alright, I'll go back, I'll just throw a tenner on, and then you lose that, and then you're going 50 and 100 and hundreds, and sometimes even thousands.
Was your first bet a win?
My first bet was actually on a dog. My biggest was the horses. I wouldn't do it, but I could actually go in and probably put a fiver on a soccer team there and leave it at that. It was the horses that used to
single bets.
Kill me. Single bet, no, accumulators. I used to love accumulators, because at one time I won 39,000 off a €20 bet.
You won 39,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sterling or euros?
Euros. This is when I was back home. And I've with that as well, I've won 17,000. I won 23. I've won 11, 8, good few 6, 5,
Guts of 100,000
6,000. Like, easily. And I blew it all. That's.
And did you fix yourself, or did you go get help?
I did. I went help because I was at break point. Because I probably, if I didn't do it, I probably wouldn't have been here. I won't be here. No, without a doubt.
Who's you know?
Without a doubt, no.
Good man for saying that.
Just like I've tried to do it. I've tried to commit it, but was found. But again, that's onto me, and I hate the way it's after taking me this long, but I've done it now. And
did people know you were going to do it? Or did you say something to someone?
It was after fucking drinking, and one of my good friends just committed suicide a few months ago. It was actually when I signed for Pats. It was a week after my birthday, and I remember just went up to my room, had a load of tablets, and I just shoved them in my mouth. And I can't really remember then. I just remember being on my bathroom floor, blood everywhere, people trying to get the tablets up. I must have kind of probably said something.
On the known to yourself?
On the known, and I did want to go, and like, I'm not, it's a scary thing to say, I'm not afraid to die. If when your time is up, your time is up. I think that's the way I see it. But now, as I said, at that time, but now in the last 14 months, I see it differently. You have a purpose. Like I've kind of gone through a kind of break up now at the minute. And before that, I would have went straight to drink, drugs, and gambling, and do whatever. Have no
them three follow each other around.
It's the three of them.
They're like three
and now,
nasty pigs going around.
It's like it's a horrible thing like that, the relationship, that because it was something that just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was something that was so. I was like, wow, is because I was only kind of coming into myself, finding myself, and I was like, Jesus, this is how I feel, and this is how I meant to treat someone as well. I was like, this is great. This is how I actually are meant to treat someone. And if there's one good thing you take out of a breakup, regardless of the situation, that I didn't have an urge to gamble, didn't have an urge to go drinking or taking drugs.
Are you clean?
Yeah, look, I'd still have a few drinks and that, but I haven't had any urge to go gambling, or as I said, like when it happened, I probably would not drink or go drinking and let's go out, just go out.
Are you going to a bookies or online on your phone?
I used to go to all, whatever I could.
The amount of young lads around this town I know that's done that, kind of get help.
That's what
that are super talented footballers or soccer players or hurlers that just needed that help. Then
it's the
time. Some of them
get
get fixed, some of them don't.
And I do it, because like as I said, I reached out to kind of a few people. I reached out to one lad that's like he'd be well known, and he got me help, and I started going to meetings and all that stuff. And I was going to meetings now for a few months, and then I met this girl, and I said, geez, I don't feel like I need to. I feel like I can do my, like, be busy and kind of be right, because I never thought of it. Because normally after 3 or 4 months I'd be like, I'll go back now. I can go back. But the fact that I haven't now, and I know I don't need it, and it's because if I even had that, even thought of even walking into a bookies, I know myself that's me done. Like, I'd be done. So that's the kind of scary part. But I'm kind of proud of myself the way I am now, and I know I can be that kind of person. So I hate the way it's taken me this long.
Should be fucking...
that's something that people say. Like,
what
I wouldn't...
You should be.
What would Mikey now, where you are now, and I want to commend you for that, because it's not easy, first of all, to be open, and second of all, to know that you're a better man, right? So what would Mikey now tell that Mikey when he was in the bathroom opening that tablet bottle?
Oh...
Sorry, lad.
I think
at
throw
one like this.
You throw it.
At the time, I think, look, I was feeling down again. It was just the hiding. It's so easy to hide and lie, but it's the escape of it. But I think now it's just there's so much more to life. You can do it. Like, there's so much more in life that you can achieve and actually look forward to. And like, look, everything happens for a reason. I think that's the way I see it. Like, everything happens for a reason, and relationships come and go. You go meet people, you have your friends. The one thing I'm very lucky for is I have a great family and friends. That's the massive thing, and you really do find out who your true friends are. Absolutely. When you go. I've gone through this so many times, and I think, geez, I don't want to tell anyone. I used to hide it a lot because I'd be afraid I'd be a burden on them. Like, it's just the same terrible problem feeling. Now again. He's gambling again. He in my past relationships, like, I used to cheat because I didn't care about the consequences.
It's a shame, isn't it?
It's the shame, but it's the consequences of I just did not care of what happened to me.
Well, you can't actually convey them, Mikey.
No,
you can't convey the consequences, and then you don't want to open up because you feel shame, and then it's like yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. And then once you open up, you're like, why did I ever think I was going to feel them things?
That's what I said. That feeling in this, like, was like in the relationship, geez, this is actually how you're meant to feel in it, and how you're meant to be kind of this person. And I'm like, okay, I love that.
Until you get married, but
you do it. I know, you have that, but as I said, I'm still kind of learning stuff about myself, but this version of myself, I wish it just happened. I know it's hindsight, but if it happened 10 years, or when I actually gave up in 2016 fully, I wish I did that turn rather than the constant cycle. But look,
would you understand what happiness is now?
Yeah, and definitely from the last 14 months.
Would you have understood it before that?
No, I don't.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I think I don't think I would understand happiness. I think it was just more of this. It's like, this is what life is, that you go through all these cycles of, like, addiction it's horrible no matter what addiction it is. No matter what it is, drink, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is.
Fast food is my problem. Just is my addiction.
So you have so many
She
things.
tells me to just eat, man. I just eat. No, I get it.
Big sign here on next week.
We just had to drop that one in there. We went dark. I thought at least we turned off at once.
We are available for sponsorship, lads.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's I love the psychology behind things, Mikey. I love speaking to people. We had Tony O'Reilly in here. I don't know if you know his story. He's gambling as well, and I just love the psychology behind it, and I love the success in recovery, right? Like, so are you in a position now, or in a place now, when you're saying, I am never dropping a penny on a bet ever again?
Yeah, without doubt. Because I said that I'm never doing it, and I said if I ever did, like I won't be here, because I can't go through the cycle of the emotions of what it actually does to you inside, and what it does to your.
It doesn't just hurt you, though, Mikey.
No, it hurts your family.
People that have been really good to you.
That's what I mean.
They're hurting just as much.
Yeah, it's the fact that because you're telling them, and then they believe you that you're fixed this time.
Exactly,
and all of a sudden that's
a relapse. So.
That's constantly, as you said. But look,
you're on the right road, Mike.
That's what I mean. I have to keep on that road. And look, if I ever do, I do have people there in place that I can call.
Good.
With that as well, and I know I will go back to meetings again and just go back to that. But at the minute, I think I'm happy at trying to find myself, like say, look after myself. I know people say you need help, but I think mentally, if I can get through this without, say, going on like antidepressants again and stuff like that, I can beat that.
You think you're climbing all the time, getting stronger and stronger.
That's what I'm trying. You can beat that demon that's in your head, that little monkey in the back of your mind.
Yeah,
I'd say there's more than one, right?
I don't know. They're banging away.
Monkey's called a gaggle or something, is it? Yeah, I do you know what it is, and obviously at Villa at the time, he came back in 2015, right in saying that?
Yeah.
How did the loan spell suit you in Caroline and Portsmouth? How did they suit you? Was it the same thing, just different place?
It was just different place, because I remember, again, it was the time when I was flying it, doing ever so well, and then broke my foot, fifth metatarsal. There was so many kind of things that were in the background that should have been dealt with before it happened, but again, happened. And I remember going up on loan. I was only kind of back from injury, and I went up to Carlisle. Graham Kavanagh was there. He took me up, played 5 or 6 games. I didn't score, but hit the crossbar and post, and I actually performed okay. And it was in League One, and he wanted to keep me, but he had to bring in another defender, so you were only down 5 loans at the time.
Okay.
Well, I went straight from Carlisle straight down to Portsmouth. And
what division were Portsmouth in there?
Portsmouth were League 2. They were third last. They were...
Yeah, sure, they were in a bad
How did you
place.
bring them the whole way up?
Sure, they were sponsored by university and everything, weren't they?
Richie Barker was there at the time.
Oh.
This is after they won the FA Cup and all, right?
Yeah, this was after. Yeah, Harry Redknapp obviously put him in. He's hated down there. He put him in the financial problems that they were in.
Like retirement homes, all didn't he? All the play Cano with the boys there, the fog and no paycheck there.
But I said at the time went straight down to Portsmouth. I think I only went down there on an initial 1 month, but I ended up staying till the end of the season, because I did actually all right and started to kind of perform a bit better. And stayed there till the end of the season. But Portsmouth as a place, that probably helped me of kind of at that time of that kind of healing and trying to fall in love back, because I love like Portsmouth as a town or a city, whatever town. It was fantastic.
Good spot.
Place.
Was it?
It's a fantastic place. Good people. It's a real football, soccer town.
So course, right?
Down in the docks,
right down there. It's an unbelievable. I lived on the marina. Lovely. Like literally with 2 other lads, and I remember again, I was gambling, but there was a balcony, and then you obviously had, so that was, the balcony was on the top, and then when you used to walk out from the kind of kitchen the kitchen living area, you come out and you'd have a dock where you could obviously park up your boat, and literally the sun splitting the stones, unreal. We used to have barbecues, itself, drinking, but then we used to be sitting out there on a Tuesday and have a few drinks in the sun. Like, you wouldn't go mad, but you'd have a few drinks. And I remember at the time we brought the TV outside and we were watching Cheltenham, all that sort of stuff. And it was, at the time I was like, jeez, this is great. This is great. And season was obviously over. I went back and did a full pre-season when I came back from Portsmouth. And I
You're back at Villa now, right?
Yeah, so I went back to Villa, but I remember Graham Barrett was my agent at the time, and he came down and said, right, we need to get you fit. So I remember running around Scanlon Park, the track, and it's the fittest I've ever been.
This is a recovery from the...
Yeah, so from that full year, I said, look, you need to have a good good year now this year. So I
was there a
remember
new
going
manager
down.
going to Villa at this time?
No, Lambert was still there.
Lambert was still there,
he
was
was
it?
still there, yeah. So went back. I remember we did the yo-yo at the time, and I forget, it could have been 22.7 or something like that, but I was, and the person under me, I think it was actually Berkey, because he was doing the run. He used to come down and do the run as well. And Jack Byrne used to come down and end the Stevens as well. And we used to do the run, and I remember, I think Berkey got 21.3 or something. I was that far ahead, and I was like, right, this is going to get me get into the first team now, train with him all the time.
Yeah.
And not materialised. Didn't matter how fit I was. I think Lambert wanted me kind of gone.
Go away.
So yeah, went on loan then to Portsmouth. I went back again for a month. I remember we went in, played the first game. I was away to York, I think. Played well enough, but I was cramping up after like 65 minutes. And remember after that I went to the next away game, and the chief executive at the time was just like, look, if you play like this now, the next few games, like, we're going to sign you. And when he said that, went all downhill.
Go ahead.
Why?
Didn't perform well. I don't know, I just can't. That time I didn't remember. My parents came over to Portsmouth to watch me, and I remember we were playing on the Saturday, and I went on the marina. There was a load of like kind of nice restaurants around there. Went there, I remember having steak, chips, and I had 2 pints. And I remember playing that. It was the last game of the season actually, and I remember, and I came on half an hour to go. I gave away one of the goals, and I felt so heavy, so sluggish. I remember I never felt so down in my life.
Do you think your performance suffers with too much expectations on you?
Yeah, I think I probably put the pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Because but I used to just think, look, remember he kind of played me on the right of a front three, but I was always a main number 9. But he used to play me on the right, and look, I remember I played Dagenham Redbridge. It was probably one of the best. It was definitely the best I played. Scored 2. Again, I was kind of flying it, and everyone was kind of loving me, kind of, because you'd be known then down there. But when I went in and Richie Barker, he got sacked, and I forget your man that came in.
Got him then, did you?
Got him well, and we ended up finishing 10th.
Right.
In the end, so like we were safe and all that stuff, and to go back for next year, they were going to kind of kind of build, and they had a bit more kind of financial power. So
yeah, I know they're in a bad place, weren't they? One thing, the university was sponsoring them.
Yeah, that's when I was there.
Yeah, they were in a bad place.
At the time.
Yeah, they couldn't get a sponsor or
training. We were training in the university. The pitch was terrible.
I remember
everything
reading about
was just not great. But again, 20,000 people at every game.
Yeah, massive following. Yeah,
massive following. Unbelievable to play.
Just a real
in the
tight pitch,
ground. You can hear.
It reminded me of the Dell. Remember the Dell, Southampton's pitch? It was like the Dell.
You could hear everything. What?
Yeah. Valley Parade, right? Is it Valley Parade?
Portman Park, is it?
Portman Park.
No, that's
Fratton
Ipswich.
Park.
Sorry, the cowbell.
Ipswich, yeah.
Yeah, the man with the thing. Yeah.
Do you know the like? Okay, you're at Villa. Lambert doesn't fancy you. You've had 2 loans and you've gone back to Portsmouth again. Is the poor performances a result of realisation that my dream could be over here?
I think, but see, again, people, I can blame who, but when I got that injury, when I broke my foot, I didn't work hard enough to get back to where I was.
Yeah.
I put on a bit of weight. I think I put on more muscle, which kind of left me, because I was always sluggish, nippy, and my movement was always, I can say that about myself, but I had very good movement. Very good movement that people could find me with a pass. But sometimes my movement would be too clever, people wouldn't see it, and I'd get frustrated. And remember the time Gordon Counts, the time he's just like, you have the best movement in this club. He said, you just need people to find you. And he said, just keep making the moves. We see it. Says it's just a shame the players don't see. But again, Berkey was there. Remember Daniel Johnson, Samuel Cruthers, like they did used to find me as well. Like, but it's just I used to always be on the move, constantly on the shoulder. And I remember Ken Parrish used to always say that. He used to say, "Don't come short, just stay on the shoulder. You stay on that shoulder. Don't care if you don't touch the ball 20 times in a game. Stay on that shoulder."
He's constantly watching you, isn't he?
Yeah.
Constantly. There's so many eyes on you that you don't realise, but at the time you have to be constantly at the top of your game. And like as I said, like all the outside going of mental health and the gambling and having no money and crying and stuff like that, like it didn't really affect me too much on on the pitch because I knew he used to be kind of a bit of a scapegoat. And I can't gamble now. I'm in the training ground. I'm away from everything. So. Yeah, it's just.
Was the Rovers thing an approach by Rovers, or was it an approach from you to them, or how did that work?
No, it was again my age. Like I had offers to stay in England, as well. But my agent Graham, at the time, look, he was great to me. He said, "No, look, you need to come home." He said, "Come back to Ireland." I went and spoke to Dundalk, Stephen Kenny, and then I went and spoke to Rovers and signed with Rovers on a 2-year deal. And
who was that Rovers? Bradley? Was it Bradley? Yeah.
No, Bradger was the assistant, him and Glenn, and but Pat Fellon was the manager. And then look, I got a good deal. I came back, had my own apartment. Well, it was the first time actually kind of properly living on my own, cooking for myself and all that stuff.
How did you find that?
It was probably the worst thing that probably happened because of how bad mentally I probably was. You didn't
need it, like.
I probably didn't need it, but I thought because like it would have grown me as a man, but like it didn't. Again, that's my fault. That's all up to me. Like that, I'm not doing the right things. Wasn't eating the right stuff, drinking. I had a balcony. I used to be out constantly smoking.
Go ahead, were you
constantly
smoker?
smoking? Yeah, constantly.
You still smoke?
The odd time I used to when I golf and that, but like I wouldn't.
What's the connection
Put the
between
bad
golf
image
and
on the
smoke?
golfers here. No, relax now.
I don't. I said it's just something when you're away. But like, say if I drink, I don't smoke.
Okay.
Like that. Like I don't like it. It's just something to escape because you have sometimes when you get these anxious feelings, it's just like I gets rid of it or
I get that.
Whatever way it is, yeah. So
don't smoke. You couldn't relate to that.
I smoke. That's my worst habit. If I went to the doctor's, right, and a doctor said to me, "You can never drink anymore," I'd high five and walk out. Wouldn't bother me. Yeah. If I went to the doctor, he said, "You must stop smoking now." I don't know what I'd do with myself. I'd be heartbroken.
You start drinking.
I'd be heartbroken. No, it's funny that like something you thought that was going to progress and develop you as a person actually was the hindrance.
Yeah, like again, it was just me mentally. I don't think I was mentally probably ready for it. I just thought I was always kind of going to play soccer. Like I just didn't think of money as a thing. I was like, I'll always have something coming in.
Yeah,
and I just remember at the time when I had my apartment, I used to constantly go down to Boyle Sports. It was right down the corner, down the square. And said drinking.
Where was your apartment? Right across from the pitch?
Yeah, right across. At the square. No, at the Lewis stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Literally in there. I was up the top floor.
Top of the arena. The arena is it?
Top floor.
Is it?
No. Jeez, I forget what it's called.
I know
now,
we're
but I was
talking
up the top.
about.
Literally where the hotel is, the Glass House Hotel. Mine was just opposite it, up the top on the corner. That's what mine was like. Oh, it was grand spot.
Yeah, ideal.
At the time, but
how long did you give Rovers?
About a year and a half. Well, I think I left in May.
Done all right there, right?
Did all right. Again, I could have done so much better.
Yeah.
But look, I still did all right for probably what was going on off the pitch.
Yeah.
For me, so I remember obviously the last game I actually played was against Bows. We bet Bows 4-0 in Dalymount.
Oh yeah.
I remember I used to love playing them, playing those games. And remember Bradzer then, as I was coming out of the changing room, he was like, should be kind of buzzing, came over and talked to me. He's like, he put his arm around me and he's all right. I just broke down. I
wanted to ask you that, Mikey. Sorry to cut across you. Is that the first time someone identified that, say in the professional circle, that someone identified that there's something not right here?
No, I think they knew before that, but I think the fact that you're after beating Bows 4-0 in Dalymount,
you should be buzzing.
I should be buzzing.
And it just stood out like a sore tongue.
I must have, because he was like, he like knew I was so. They were helping me. Like the club were great to me. Now the club were like Rovers were great to me. All the lads in the background were great.
Did he come to you because of the result, or did he come to you because of your performance?
No, I think it was. I don't actually did kind of well enough. I actually played the full 90, and I remember just coming off, and I just said I just don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to play anymore. He brought me over to where the the bench was.
Yeah.
So it brought me down there and talk, and I just remember we spoke for probably about 30 minutes, I'd say, and I was just broke down. And then Pat Fellon came to me then I kind of went about a week later and just said, look, you need to take a break here. So I went off and had 2 weeks break, and during that time probably I shouldn't have. I remember about a week and a half into it, just before I went back, played hurling. Got that feel for it because I always loved hurling. I was always told I was a better hurler than soccer player. So I went back junior.
That junior team
So I went back, played O'Loughlin's, I think it was a junior B or something like that. Came on at half time, scored 3-3, I think. And
yeah, you're not too bad, I have to be honest.
That field, it was the first time, it was just that field, and I was like, fuck, I just want to be back. And I didn't even talk to my mum, didn't talk to my dad. I just said, no, I'm quitting. And I put a thing up on Facebook. I didn't think anything of it, but it was big enough thing at the time, I suppose. I didn't realise, like, when I put it out saying I'm giving up for mental health reasons and stuff like that. But
what's the response then?
Journalists are on to me, remember my age, are ringing me going, what are you doing? What kind of, like, don't take that down. I think it's already up, like, and at the time, like, I know I shouldn't have put it, but I just wanted to give my reason.
It's where you were, though, right?
I just wanted to give my reason
you can
why.
take it back down.
That's what I mean. So at the time, then I had journalists ringing me and all that stuff. And look, I was like, I just want to be happy. I just want to be back home.
Did you speak to journalists?
I remember there was one said, right, we'll do one phone call with all of them. But then I think I spoke to two or three, or something like that. But other than that, then it was kind of, no, I just wanted to get on, play. I just said, go play with Evergreen, play hurling, go and enjoy myself, and try and probably get back to being probably normal. As I say, being back to being a normal.
Bouncing your step and a smile on your face.
Exactly. Happened probably for some parts of it. I remember when I gave up, I put on a lot of weight at the time, and I was just kind of enjoying myself being back. I was probably going out more than what I should have, but again, it was that with the Evergreen lads. Though. I was home, go Sunday pints after the game, enjoying with the lads. Like I remember, like, so close. One of my friends, that's why I have a tattoo there. His nickname was Waspy. Like, so I would have known him before that, but when I went back to Evergreen, like, we were just kind of like that. Yeah, we just clicked, and we just got on so well, and we used to go out and enjoy ourselves and stuff like that. And we had some laughing because, like, his group of friends now, I'd be good friends with them, and we were all that kind of way. And it was just like, it was a good time to be, because I don't think I was probably.
You come back.
I was depression, but I was still gambling, and but I was kind of happy in a way, yourself. Which is weird from how.
I get it. I get it.
100%.
It's a comfort. Yeah. You're back in an area where the people around you, first of all, emotionally, you probably love, and second of all, you've missed out so much time with them over the last X amount of years that you're back, and it's a comfort thing, right?
Yeah, because I remember actually at the time when I did, everyone was like, "You're a failure." All this, I had all that stuff again. You're a failure. What you doing? Giving up your life. You're a waster, and you have all the usual shenanigans. Like, no, that's all people on the outside. That's all people, lads. That I wouldn't bat an eyelid. Like, there's so much rumours going around like that just weren't true. I was just like, because I knew that this is going to happen. Like, this is going to be a backlash of it. But look, what can you do? Everyone's going to have an opinion.
It's a begrudgery nation, man. And do you know what the reality of it is, Mikey? See them lads that said, "Oh, you failed." They're probably happy you failed.
Definitely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because no one in this country, no one from outside of your area or circle you want to see succeed. It's not my mentality, but it's the majority of, right? But like, if we're measuring success, to go over to Aston Villa at 16 years of age, sign your pro at 17, make the loan moves, okay, how are we measuring it? That's a success.
It's a great story.
Like, that is, you've made it story. Like, you've played out, like, there's 1% of kids in academies now in England that will sign pro contracts. 1%. And you as a player and as a person got to that 1%. Like, that's outrageous.
Super achievement, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I mean,
then people who begrudge you, Mikey, they're about as useful now as an ashtray and a motorbike.
You're late. You went back to Evergreen.
Yeah.
At that time. Talk to me.
Packy Holden and Brian Holden were over at the time, and
Packy's the goalie, right?
Packy was the goalie. Yeah, played with Wexford and Waterford and that, and two of them were twins. They're mental, but they were great. They were great.
Good for you.
For me at the time, especially that FEI year that we went to the final, they were great. And again, it was just going back and enjoying it. And like, I always kind of knew I was kind of maybe mentally a step ahead of the lads kind of around, like, playing and all that stuff. But it was just the enjoyment of just being with lads and playing with bit of freedom. Even though when it came to the big games, you would feel a little bit of pressure, like you kind of stand up here now and drag us through it. Like,
I'm the pro here.
The bigger the game,
which is do it. Like that's kind of
thing.
like up to obviously the fucking final, which really did. But up to that, like I chipped in with my goals, did all that stuff. So, but again, just about enjoyment. Again, playing the hurling, playing the soccer, doing a bit of golf, going out with your friends, going out with your miss at the time and stuff like that. Everything was just kind of going well, and then obviously got a job and worked. My first job was in the phone shop, in High Street there. Oh, at the time I was so nervous. It was
like
it was
the real
the
world.
feel of going back to the actual real world, and
It's about
the money
25
and the
women outside
money.
every day and say, look at that. Mikey Brennan's in the shop, look at him. He'll sign me top. It's like Happy Gilmore.
Oh, deadly.
Well, yeah, again, they used to have people coming in, and like I obviously used to get like the minimum wage every time was 9 something or whatever, like going from that and get a bit of commission and that. But to be fair, I wasn't a bad kind of salesman, like, because Liam, the owner of the shop, he took a chance on me as well. Really, I know it was because of my name. He gave it to me.
It was the greatest decision he ever made.
But again, that kind of really
models
changed
and
me
fun.
as well. So that was kind of the best. That was the best thing for me, is to get back into it and actually constantly see people face to face.
Yeah.
So you get rid of that kind of like, rather than have an office job, you don't really see customer, but the actual see people.
Dealing with the public, Mikey, is priceless. You don't get an odd Egypt. I'm out in the van every day and it's brilliant.
You do get an odd Egypt.
You don't get an odd Egypt, but it's out there everywhere.
But again, you have the camaraderie with some of the customers as well, and the lads coming in and stuff like that. And remember that time, about people used to come in like, oh, how are you and how are you feeling, and stuff like that, which was nice as well.
Of
like
course.
some people like they can actually, maybe they were just probably curious more than anything, or they were nosy or whatever. But people used to did it, like, how are you getting on and stuff like that. So
were you there at least night for Pats? Was it?
Yes, so I was there. No, I actually went into Transfermate, like, tax back. I was
yeah,
kind of there. Went there for 4 months. Yeah. Went there for 4 months and I hated it. And I was like, right, I need to give soccer a go.
That's to work, right?
Yeah.
I heard about that place.
Yeah, I need to give soccer a go again.
If your dark arts on voice.
So I remember saying it then. Well, rang my agent, rang Graham Barrowell, my former, and I rang him and said, look, I'm looking, I might give League of Ireland a go again. He was like, okay, sorry, let me make a few phone calls. So made a few phone calls, and a few of them were like, oh, come down and train. And I was like, you either want to kind of sign me or not. But then thinking of it now, like, that's the right thing to do, because what Mikey are we getting? How mentally strong is he? Or I remember then going up to Sligo, and I was like, okay, all right, I'll go up to Sligo and see. I remember we went up and played the Guards team. I think we won 3-0, scored 2, and they kept me overnight then and signed that morning.
Brilliant.
And Ger Little was the manager at the time, and again, he was brilliant for me. I mean, I came in, he goes, yeah, you're my main man now.
Go ahead.
So that made me feel, playing up top, that made me feel, I was like, okay. It took me a while to get kind of going and kind of get a bit fit, but when I did, I started banging in the goals, and he just made, like, that was what I needed at the time, but he was brilliant to me. Okay. I must say, he was brilliant. Man management was second to none.
Crucial, isn't it?
Crucial to have that relationship with. I know not everyone gets it with a manager. Some people like love him, but the relationship he had, and I think he understood it, what I kind of went through as well, which was a big thing as well. So, and then he actually got sacked, and we were all devastated. Because at the time we went in, I think we were third on the form from that second half break. And he left, or he got kind of sacked or whatever. And Liam Buckley came in, and then I remember they had a few offers then. I was like, right, he's back. He's after scoring, I think, 12 goals or something in that period. And then
were they Premier or at the time?
Yeah, they were Premier, Premier at the time. And then a few teams came in for me and met Kenny. That's bad.
Who's that,
Kenny?
Pats?
Yeah, Pat's. Oh my God.
Well, go on your Google machine, Mikey. There's no panic.
There's us.
Pop again, trying to people.
I'm trying to think.
Harry
Kenny.
Harry Kenny.
Yeah.
Harry Kenny again.
Harry Kenny was my boss in Lifestyle.
Was he?
Yeah, when I worked in Lifestyle, he was
because he sold his shares in Lifestyle, didn't he? Yeah. He didn't do bad for himself.
Harry Kenny was he was like a sales. He was a salesman,
wasn't he? And he kind of pushed. He bought
was
into it at the time.
Gentleman.
Again, such a nice man.
Yeah.
He used to say to me, like, you're my main man.
Yeah, he was a Bray for a while, wasn't he?
Stuff
As well?
like that, yeah. So he tried to sign me a Bray as well, actually, at that time, and went up there and signed a 2-year deal. And so, man, I started off well. Everything was good. My performances were actually okay. I just didn't get the look of
the goals,
kind of say, which was kind of probably unlike me. And I got sent off twice stupidly during the season, like, which killed me. And that, I remember Stephen O'Donnell then came in and played against Rovers, played alright, did alright, and then started against Waterford the next game. Pulled me off half time and didn't play for Pats then. And I had another year, and I just said, look, just pay me up, I'll go. And at that time I was like, yeah, I'm done now. I'm done. It was that I enjoyed it to somewhat degree, but I was like, this isn't for me anymore. I had to give it up. That was it. I just knew it. I was like, I have to go back home, get a job.
Yeah.
An actual a proper job, and get somewhere to stabilise and actually start looking to the future. Yeah. And obviously it's only the last now year and
the months, the world of good, isn't it?
That has it.
You had to go through COVID as well then, right?
That's when COVID, yeah. That's what I had that as well.
That must have been difficult
to go through. Again, yeah, it was. Again, I was... See, because at the time the bookies were closed as well.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And there wasn't much horse racing on either end. I remember at the time, I was like, geez, I haven't gambled here. Yeah. Like, kind of what's kind of going on here? Because I worked through the whole of COVID though as well. I didn't have gone any break. I was essential, yeah. So, so at that time then, COVID and again, but I was still drinking and doing drugs and all that kind of sort of stuff. And then obviously then eventually when the head came to was last year, and that's really when I'm so happy it's happened now that I'm not constantly in that cycle. I'm happy that I've actually done that to myself, and I'm like, no, this is it now. I need to stop.
Brilliant.
Stopped, and I think now it's just I'm getting that mentally a bit stronger, which is
you'll be a stronger man for it.
That's what I mean. I feel like I'm. People say you should be proud of that how well you're doing now, because people have seen how dark and how bad I have got. Yeah, and to say like you can see you're a different person now. What you've done, like where you are with other people, there's a bit of a bounce in your step. You are when you're like in your last relationship, like that's how you should be. Like it wasn't. There was no like cheating. There was no nothing. Obviously, it happened. The breakup just happened. It was unfortunate with the way it happened. People just don't want to be with you, so there's nothing you can do about that. But again, that's where I'm good. One thing I can take out is that I know that I don't need to gamble. I don't need to rely on drink. You didn't react. You didn't react the way they usually would, and that's how I'm.
Do you know when you go on? I know. Like it's fresh enough, right? 14 months, right? So when you take the breaks from the gambling, and let's say drinks and drugs, right? When you come back on them, it's at another level.
Yeah, it's that buzz. It's that because I constantly want to be up here. I constantly want to be up the top. Constantly want to be winning. No matter what it is, I'm so competitive. Like if it's game of handball, I'm winning handball. Like I'm not losing.
Down the butts.
No matter what it is, down the butts. There's actually an art feel there. Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. It was that buzz because I was constantly following that buzz. Because I was so down. I wanted to feel that high. It's that buzz.
Yeah, my life has to be lived here.
Has to be constant. That's why the gambling is so. It's the buzz. You're chasing a buzz. Like you're chasing to feel high.
It's not the money, right?
Low. No, it's the buzz.
It's the buzz.
The buzz that you have, and
you see lads that had gambling problems, and they might as well be riding the horse in the bookies.
Yeah. Like that, and the kicking
that
like
that. The screen, you fucking idiot. And I'm looking at there's a horse, there's plastic running across the screen, number 7 and 7-1. Sure, that'll win. Throw 100 on that. Seppi Sippy or something is it then?
It's the buzz, yeah.
It's stupid.
But it's like that high, isn't it? Like I never took a drug in my life, to be honest with you, but it's like that high with heroin, isn't it? That's why you always chase the first high.
The same with the drink you want. It's everything it is. Like, and it's scary that it takes over your life of how actually it's mentally draining as well. And that's like people like have suicidal thoughts and they want to kill because they don't want to be constantly yo-yo.
Back to the word that you said is a burden.
It's just something that's you don't want to be constantly shoulders in, and like you could be walking down the street after losing €10,000 and you say hello to something. You go, oh well, how are you going? They don't have a clue.
Haven't
They
a
have
clue.
lost
Clue.
10,000 euro.
Yeah.
They have no clue, and it's I
Yeah.
haven't lost 10,000 euro in a day now, but I've walked down. I've lost a couple of €1,000, and as we walk down, yeah, how are you going? Yeah.
Everybody in this world at some part of every day has a mask on their face.
Papa,
That's
that's
good, then
beautiful.
people know.
And that's a fact. At one part of the day, over 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, there's a mask there. I'm not right. And you go, my.
Reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me this. Any regrets?
No. I have no regrets regarding the soccer. The only thing I probably regret is not getting the proper help sooner. That's the only regret. Not regarding soccer, my decisions and all that stuff.
You're happy with that?
I'm happy with that. Obviously, some of my life kind of things in between. Okay, like what I've done to relationships and all that, I regret that and have massive, but not regarding soccer. No regrets.
Do you think the process now going at 18 to the UK, would have that suited you better?
Oh, definitely. Those 2 years, as I said, it would have mentally trained you, and you would have been mentally probably 2 years a long time, like to have, especially your mind to be mentally developed.
Coming out of teenage adulthood, right? 2 years is quite a long time.
Yeah, it's a long. That's all. So I think it would have been a big difference, but again, that's hindsight. Who knows what would have?
Has clubs ever done it, where they brought back over someone that's been in your situation and said, "What can we do to help kids of your age?"
That's a great question.
Do you know what I mean? Has anybody ever
No,
done it?
like say I always said
wouldn't
that.
it? Imagine you're going back to speaking to kids at 16 at Aston Villa.
Yeah,
and
that's
saying,
what I said.
And
I'd love to
speaking to
do
the
it.
people whose agents who's signing them, or saying,
I'd love to just see
if you
the
do this,
experience.
it's only helping the player.
Is there a market there for like a professional soccer support service?
I think there is now. I think there since all that time, but I think there is a lot more. I think there's a lot more help there. I think now, because see, mental health now is such a massive thing.
It's huge.
More people,
It has to be in
more
the
people are
agencies,
coming
right?
to it. Like, but like for especially for academies, but even look, first team players, as I said, there's a lot of people that were. I know addiction is an addiction, but a lot more people could be millions in debt, or hundreds of thousands. But there's a support there should be for, especially when you're young and when you're signing these contracts, to have these. Lads, you trust.
Yeah, you're so vulnerable though at that age, aren't you?
That's what I mean. So, but again, that 2 years, who knows what would have happened? Look, I could have said no to soccer, and I could have went on and played with Kilkenny. Because at 15,
Three or four irons in the back pocket.
Because at 15, I was asked to go and play with the minors.
Kilkenny
and I had
minors, were you?
3 years. Like I got asked to go and train. Richie Maroney was there, and he asked me, "Will I go in and but wasn't allowed because I've already signed a contract at this time." So, look, again, I could have maybe stayed at Hurling, or maybe the soccer would have happened and it could have happened.
Remember John Bishop speaking about it on the stage one time? He said the Al Qaeda wouldn't play Hurling.
I actually remember that.
Mad.
Only watched there probably 6-7 weeks on Bishop.
Would you change anything?
I probably would have changed my approach.
Go on.
To how I see life. If I probably would have got.
That's deep, Mikey.
Helper. Probably would have asked for help before. Like if I could do it, it's so hard to explain. Rather than sitting in the room, if I could actually do it and get up, but again, that's what pressure does. It doesn't want you to get up and go and get help. Or
if you could step outside yourself and identify what was coming before it came. Do you know what I mean? And get the help right.
Get the help right.
But because of the predicament you were in, and let's be honest, you would have been on your own. I know you would have lads of digs in that, but you're on your own.
Still on your own, yeah. Yeah, because I remember when I was in the digs, and I remember Burke used to come into me and he'd be like, "Mom, we'll go cinema, we'll go off here," and I'd be just like, "No." And he'd be like, "What?" He's like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Because he wanted. Obviously, he wanted to go up and be busy and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that. I was just wanted to be in the room. And just
that was your way of dealing with it.
That was my way of dealing with it. And it was, like, obviously, look, it wasn't the right way, but again, I only actually got, as I said, diagnosed with like severe depression when I signed with Rovers.
Yeah.
Alan Byrne diagnosed me with it, and that was actually kind of it. And again, I didn't know what depression was, because I remember just before, about a month or two before I came back, I think I remember ringing my agent. I was bawling on the phone, and he was like, "What's wrong?" He said, "Are you depressed?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What's depression? What?" Like, it's like you're feeling sad and crying all the time. It's like, no. But yeah, again, I didn't know what it was, because it's not as big today or big then as as it is now, because more people are coming out with it. I don't think too many people came out with it around the time I did, and because I remember
it would have been unknown.
A few people wanted to, like Sky Sports were on to me. Your man Brian Swanson or whatever, he was on to me, wanted me to go on and do a talk, and obviously went on to Ray Darcy a few weeks after it happened, and I did all these interviews, and people wanted me to go on, and like it was, I didn't realize how big it was, because I just thought, look, I'm not famous, I'm not big around, but people wanted to know my story,
didn't they?
They wanted my story.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll go back to that point you made, you know what depression was. Not only that, Mikey, you didn't have the tools to deal with it.
No.
Which was probably a bigger thing. Like if you had a support network and tools to deal with it, it might have been identified earlier, and I'm not saying it would affect your career, but definitely would have affected you mentally from your impulsiveness and from the gambling, from whatever, addiction side. And that's a real shame. But that's not on you though.
No, in some ways, because maybe if I would have went crying for it, because I don't think I used to hide it. I think if I would actually went and like, I need help, there's something.
I don't think the supports were there.
At the age, I don't think. I remember going to the doc in at the time, and it was
here, take
just
these.
Wasn't like kind of that, or something that'll just help.
It's a joke on Batman all of a sudden.
Oh man, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. I just think that you're an advocate for every kid that wants to go play a professional soccer player. And I think, Mikey, with the right financial backing, there's definitely a space there to set up some kind of support service for kids that want to go be professional.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that literally before. Like, I'd love to go and talk to people like his parents or people that are actually going over and just say,
but
just from my experience.
You're not reading it from a book, Mikey. You're reading it from real life.
That's what I mean. It's real life. Yes. That's what I mean.
But that's the difference. You're not saying I'm qualified in this. You're overqualified because you've done it. You've been there. You actually are the book.
Been through it, and like I know now, but I said at the time when I came over, like I still would have been, I think, a great help to people that were going over, no matter what. But I think especially now,
you're a young man, Mikey. It's still there for you.
It's going. It still could be there again, but again, I think there's a little bit more support network in, especially the underage, the way that the clubs are doing it now. Like I said, like Rovers, Pats.
That's a different game now.
It is. So like that's what I mean. That's the other side. So, and again, that 2 years is massive, and for people's development as well. You can see there's probably a few to say that they're not as good. Maybe the Irish lads that are coming through probably aren't as good. They're not battle hardened, like as I say.
Yeah.
Right, Keane. They were mentally tough and mentally able to get through it again. But Roy Keane went over at 19.
Yeah,
that was 4 years.
Big
They've
difference,
done a big difference as well. Like,
but there's no social media there, Mikey. Them time,
no,
that's
what I mean.
You know what the difference between Roy Keane though? Roy Keane went into a dressing room with a manager who was an absolute fruitcake.
Yeah.
And
there you go, shit house.
Yeah, honest to God. Did you ever heard the story? He punched him in the chest and passed the ball after Mark Cross, flattened him. It's very hard to compare every player's professional journey. It's actually impossible because it's actually bespoke to that person that's on that journey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not got to do with ability or size or fitness. It's just the person's application and how different it is for them.
Yeah.
Like, someone could go over to England at 12 and be very happy.
Yeah.
Someone could go over at 27 and be €3 million on debt. Do you know what I mean? It's like the scale is
every story is a
crazy.
different story, isn't it?
Completely different. And if you have a story, please contact Podge Papa here at the Advocacy Podcast. Come here. I want to bust a few myths, right?
Okay.
Right. When you were in Aston Villa, I was involved with FC Carlow. Obviously, St. Pat's is my club. And Mikey Drennan going to Aston Villa from Kenny was the goose who got the golden egg, right? And never forget, been on a bus going down to Tralee Dynamo's game, and the player on the bus says, "Hey, did you hear about Mikey Drennan?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He told Rio Croker to fuck off. Talk to me. Myth or not a myth?
No, that's a myth.
Fuck's
but there's another one where I was either first year or second year scholar and told Delph to fuck off.
Fabian Delph. What was
and
that
he
over?
lost his head. He was saying, I think he was saying to me, work harder, because when you go first team, it's constantly on the go, and I just probably wasn't on the bounce, probably constantly.
Yeah.
I said, fuck off. I was like, oh fuck, what am I after doing here? And he went ballistic. which he was right, because like at the time, say you don't do that to pros.
No.
Senior pros, that's a no.
Yeah.
And that time I was like, oh fuck, and I kind of just hated myself, kind of shell. At that time, I was
So was Bully on it?
No,
just an argument with him?
just him. He was just shouting at me like that, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Was that before he went to City or on the way back from City? He went to Man City, didn't he?
He did. Just before it, before he went to City, like, and he was doing well.
He was Villa's nearly top man, wasn't he?
He was doing well at the time.
What's the big characters in the dressing room? You obviously him around with the first team, right? What's the big characters in the dressing room? Fabian Delph.
Yeah, Delph. Yes. Like you had, say, like Ashley Young was there at the time as well. You had Richard Dunn was there, Shay Given. Like they were great to us Irish lads.
Yeah.
Like Stephen Ireland there as well. As I said, when Robbie Keane came there for that stint. And the Stevens, he had all those lads there, but like there was always kind of big character. Ron Blair was kind of a character. He was captain of the club at the time, like
centre half, wasn't he?
And that, like, yeah. So, but I remember James Collins, like they always, you could feel their presence when you see them. Their presence, you know that. Okay, like you hold the door for them and all that kind of stuff. You have to respect. That was the way we were kind of taught. Like, this is, you want this to happen to you when you're in another 5 years' time.
Yeah,
have a young lad holding the door for you. That kind of mentality, that kind of way, like that. If you want to be the best, like act the best around the place, not just on the field. It's off the field.
That's brilliant.
They help you in around the area, but they don't help you off the field. Then
is Stephen Ireland a mental patient? Is he crazy, Stephen Ireland?
He was. He was a bit mental, but what a player!
Very good, wasn't he?
Oh my God!
He had about 5 grannies.
Technically,
what?
He had 5 grannies. They all died.
Mental. He was mental. I remember he used to show me. He used to buy. Remember, he showed me 2 Lamborghinis I used to buy before they were in production.
Sure, go away.
And sell them, and he'd make a profit on them because you're buying them before they're made. Remember, he showed me in the gym. This when I was injured, and I think he was bombing from the first team. I think at the time, and used to show me that. And used to talk about again. Like
I heard a talk about him recently there, where someone from Man City was talking about the academy he was in, and Stephen Ireland came up with your Man City. He's the best player I've ever seen play.
Yeah, technically
he was that good.
Just
he was
unbelievable.
Absolutely, just
scandalous.
He said he's just crazy.
Yeah, he could have been so much better. He could have been dealing with stuff off the pitch. As I said, you don't know, but he was. I think he'd made his money before that.
For a goal, he was always a threat.
Technically, could see a pass. Yeah, everything technically brilliant.
He ended up in Man City too, didn't he?
That's what I mean. That's where he moved. Yeah, that's where. And then he came from Man City to Villa, and then
he went that way,
that's when Milner went to City then from Villa.
Oh, right. Were you around Milner?
There like that. Yeah, he was there at the time.
Animal
like, again, can't read, but I remember him he was a workhorse, and again, feel the presence around. Like he was good. Like he was. He was
pre-season.
So, yeah, that's what I mean. He was again. Like even from watching, because we used to say do recovery in the pool, and you'd watch the first team. You used to look out at the big glass there, and you'd be in the pool, and the first team you'd be training out there. This one, and you'd see him like, and you just see like how the work ethic, and because a lot of players over there technically not great.
No,
but
Milner was
mentally strong and work hard. Had a great attitude. Big thing over there. If you good attitude and you work hard, it'll bring you a lot of places.
I'd say that, yeah.
Bring you a lot of places.
Milner was the youngest. Was the youngest Premier League?
16 with Leeds,
wasn't
it?
Yeah. Next myth. When you were with Ireland juveniles, I was told a story that one of the coaches had to come collect you from a hurling match.
No, again,
me.
but
Right.
but I remember at the time, it was a training camp down in UL with the Irish team under 15s, and I was playing. There was an under 16 championship match, and the lads from the village rang up the lads from Ireland and said, "Look, can Mikey come back for the game?" And they were I think they were told where to go. So
no way,
no exceptions.
Was how big, no exceptions. But see, there's another one now that when I was at Villa, right, my first few months when I used to come back, that those kind of few 8 weeks I used to come back every weekend. Villa used to pay for my flights. We were playing the Borough under 16, and we never lost the Borough because my team, the team I was on, we won the Fela, we won everything from I think it was 10 all the way up. We were unbeaten, and remember they lost I think to the Borough that year in under 16, and I was back, and I played while I was on contract with Villa. And I think they knew, but they didn't say it to me.
Okay.
Because I remember Anthony O'Gorman, who was the scout that brought me over, said it. I think he said it to my dad. Don't let that happen, because he said like they were going to rip up my contract.
Yeah.
What a gentleman is Anthony, by the way.
It's like that. Anthony at the time was great, but like with Anthony, he was great to me. But once I signed that contract, I didn't really hear from him.
Well, his job was done, Murray.
His job was done.
Box tick, move on, next case.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Like that's the game. That's the game. The way it was, but I didn't like that. My dad didn't, especially didn't like, because he was constantly on the phone to my dad about 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
What's the story with Mikey? Is he thinking anymore? And this was a lot. Like, and my dad found that hard like that. And then when you sign it, just you don't hear anything.
Where are you with Shane Keegan?
Shane, great time for Shane. He tried to sign me a few times as well, and probably regret that I actually probably didn't, because I do really got on well with Shane, and I've got time for him again. He helped me a lot, especially when I gave up, when I came back for those 2 months, when I came back for the summer the first time. Remember him and Rich Lowe came up and just they spoke to me for about an hour. I think my mum and dad were worried that I was just going to give it up, and they brought him up and had a talk with me, and it really helped.
Good lad, isn't he?
We had a live show with him.
Great lad.
We had a live show with him, and I asked him about you, and I said, do you know what do you think of Mikey? And he said, if he had known what you were going through, what you were going to go through, he said he would have brought you home. Yeah,
because Villa brought him over.
Yeah, he said that.
Villa brought him over to try and help me. But like this, I realising it now, like Villa really thought massively that I was going to be
of course,
the next big thing like that. Because the amount of things that they've done for me that I look back at, I'm like, okay, I was like, they really, really thought highly of me. Like, and they brought Shane over and they let Shane go and have a look at the first team train, because Shane was kind of up and coming,
he loved
and all that. And they brought him over, and he said that's probably his one regret that he didn't bring me home.
He said in live show, Pop.
Yeah.
Last myth, right? Before you went to Villa, your last game for Evergreen was against St. Pat's in Carlow, and you got sent off.
Again, I don't know.
Fuck's sake!
I don't know.
It's a myth.
I think it's, but I remember towards the end of when I was kind of playing with Evergreen, I did get sent off about 2 or 3 times. But like again, it could have been, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, I think it's a myth, but I don't know.
What age do you know?
Just turned 31.
Congratulations, you've been so young and beautiful. Tell me this, if an opportunity came, would you give it another crack?
No.
Done?
No, done.
No grow?
No.
So is happiness more important to you than climbing the ladder as high as you can at this current moment?
Yeah, happiness, definitely.
Gotcha.
Happiness without a doubt. Whatever about money, not like the job I'm in now, like I'm in a very good job. I have healthcare, pension, all that stuff. I'm very lucky to be in that job. And but I think happiness 100%, because if you're happy, and how I'm feeling now, like this is how I want to feel. So I think happiness over like money, even though like regardless of the day, how long I have to pay it off, no matter what,
doesn't matter.
I'll pay it off. That'll happen. Again, I don't know when I'm going to get a house or a mortgage. Will I ever get one? But my aim is, that's what I'm trying to strive to now. That's my next
You can't buy happiness,
goal.
Mike.
Exactly.
What's your idea of happiness now?
Being around people that you love and people that care about you. Because like, look at the minute, like my dad's sick, so like kind of being around, having seen the support like that, like he's getting and going through, and for me, like it's people around that care. Me, that's happiness.
Your turn to help him now.
Exactly.
Sorry to hear that, man.
So I mean,
that's a very humble view of happiness for someone who had the success you had. Would you call yourself selfish?
No, I think people say that I'm too generous. Like when I'd always try to look after someone else rather than me. I'd always try put them first. But even when I won all the money that I won, I used to give it away. Like give people money. I bought my mother a car. I went on holidays. I gambled most, but I used to give money away. Give money to people. Like, and they're like, stop doing it. I was like, no. I said, take it. I don't.
Yeah.
Do you understand in recovery from addiction, there's a portion of you that has to be selfish?
Yeah, now I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be, because like I'm always going to be a gambling addict.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to have like I know there's going to be a day like where I'm going to have an urge to go and bet.
Yeah.
But like that's where I need to be mentally strong and mentally in a good position that I would say no.
To avoid them areas that could potentially put you in, yeah.
Exactly that. Put me in, like as I said, I've gone through stuff now that that's what I would have done. But now, like there's going to be more in the future that are going to put me in that position again.
You like yourself?
So no.
Do you not?
Well, I wouldn't say I don't like myself, but it's like I don't think I'd be a. I'd be a lot sarcastic about me, but I don't think I'd love myself. No.
Okay.
People might say different to people that don't know me, but people that actually know me, I think know the truth. Know the truth. That's what I mean. That's what I said. I let people, the rumours that people say, and I just laugh at them. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, but for me, as long as you're happy and you have good people around you, that's all that. For me, that's all that matters.
That's lovely to hear, man.
So,
isn't it?
That's great.
It's beautiful to hear. And
such a thin line between the urge to go back gambling and all that. You know, I remember one time I had a young lad that coached. We were after being won a cup final or something, and I was just trying out to book a tickets for the club, €2, and went around by everybody at the table, and he just passed it. I said, "Buy a ticket for it." No, I didn't know he was recovering. No, if I buy one of them, that'll trigger me to go straight to the bookies.
Go ahead.
That's how close.
That's how close it is. Like
that's how close he was.
I suppose the only say the thing that I don't think I don't class it as it because I don't have there's a syndicate in work for the lotto. It's a £5 a week.
Yeah,
that's the thing that's the thing I do, but I don't class that as because I don't like. Oh fuck! I have to fucking pay this. I have to. Oh, I'm relying on this win. I'm relying on win the lotto. It's just like I don't want people to ask questions because not a lot of people know I have gambling, but they don't know how long I'm off it or if I'm on it or if I'm not or whatever. I just like it's just a £5. It's just like me kind of saying like, oh, it's putting £5 away for savings. Yeah, that kind of just putting it to the side. That's the only thing that.
It's only a camaraderie. We do
that have, as I said, like that's what I mean. Because for me, I don't think it's not an urge. People in addiction will say different.
Yeah,
but that's just me because if I'm the only one out in Duggins that doesn't have put it in, I know. Again, money doesn't make a difference, but again, it would solve a lot of problems for everyone. But I just think that's the way.
You're right to be in.
982 up.
So
26 minutes gone.
Well, that's all I want to hear. So
yeah, it's great. An absolute honour and a pleasure to speak to you. It really is. The one thing I will say to you is, I think you should retire from Oscar Trainer.
I think so. I only get back to it this year, but the one thing I'll say is that I actually truly enjoyed this.
Thanks very much.
It's actually the first time that I've, in any podcast, any interview I've done, where I've actually told the truth.
Really?
Being open and honest.
It's
something that I said to myself that I'm going to be, no matter what it is now, I'm not going to be a liar. I'm not going to tell lies and I'm going to be off this or that or whatever. Like I'm going to work so hard to be a better person for myself and be off the gambling and be off everything, not do stupid things. And all I can do is keep working on myself, and it's actually kind of a pleasure, like to speak and actually be truly honest. You're determined,
Mikey, and I think looking at you will get there, and I really believe that, and I hope you do, because I have so much admiration for you from playing soccer. But the story you told, I think I have more admiration for you.
Yeah,
to be able to sell that about drugs, gambling, drink, hurting people, cheating, whatever it was, you're on the better side of it now, and I think you will reap rewards from that, my friend. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And if we can help in any way, listen.
Do anything for you, kid.
100%. Street Joe.
It's
Podge versus Papa.
Let's go, man.
Am I first this week? Yeah.
Podge
do you watch this podcast? No,
I do.
Do you? What do you think of it?
I actually like it. Enjoy it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Can you relate to any of it?
Enjoy it. I do. Like when I listened to John Lester's one.
Oh yeah.
And that was I enjoyed that one. He's like just seeing it from his point of view as well, and it's different.
Any more laid back, you fall over.
The amount of people said it to me. How humble is that man?
Some player, wasn't he?
Ah, what a player!
Some player.
That's ridiculous. Like,
see, again, he was all weight and all that, but he was meant up there. When you're mentally up there and when you're ahead of everyone, when you know what's happening, it does make the game so much easier.
Do you win that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the young lad from Mill in the back garden.
Yeah. That's when like they always said like they'll never lose. Remember he said like they'll never lose. Yeah. They never lose. Like it's such a good strong mentality.
But that when the semi-final went down to 9 men, that was a proper example of that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They never lose. Like
That was just...
Yeah.
Cray versus Clashin. I'm going to go 2-0 Cray.
3-1.
Don't press pause there on your... Mikey, I want to ask for your prediction because you wouldn't know.
No. Well, I know Mark Lyons.
Oh, from Gray.
So yeah, I would have been good friends with Mark now underage. We used to play all the way up, got him to Evergreen, play with Kenny and all that stuff with each other. So I know Mark. Mark's a nice lad.
They were looking at him as well as doing that, were they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah. He went over. Yeah, went over on trial there. Yeah, remember that?
Nice fella.
Yeah, he is, and his father Seamus and his brothers and that as well. My father and his father used to go on really well as well. So it was a good. Again, he used to come in and stay in my house.
It's a great network, man, isn't it? It's a great network, especially when you go in around league academies and you go away to your Galway Cups and Kennedy Cups. Like, it creates a network there for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Bagnallstown versus Burn. I'm going 4-0 Bagnallstown.
3-0 the Bagnallstown.
What's the dramatic effect for it?
I'm just trying to go against you here. I'm not doing dramatic.
Yeah, dramatic effect.
I couldn't spell dramatic, will you come on?
Parkville versus Newark. I'm going to go 2-1 Newark.
I'm going to go 2-0 Newark.
And then we have Vale versus Kilree. 2-2. Desmond.
2-1 to Vale.
2-1 Vale.
It's going to be a tight one, though, isn't it? Be a good one.
Shut up. Big one. Sunday, 2:00 in the Plots. Hanover Hearts versus St. Patrick's Boys. The last club you got sent off against, Mikey. Yeah. I'm going to go 2-1 Pats. I think it's going to be an absolute war.
I'm going to go 2-1 Hanover.
Wow. You going to take league off us, bud? Douchebag.
It's not impersonal, friend.
No, I won't take it personal. Fixtures. How do you find working now? How do you find working a professional, a normal job?
A normal job.
Yeah.
Earning a crust.
I don't. To be fair, I think it's finding the right company as well. There's a right fit for you. And I think when I went in first, I was in the retail shop, kind of selling sheeting and steel and doing up sheds and all that kind of stuff, and then got promoted then to being upstairs in the office where I look after the Munster area now, but I'd be kind of on phone.
Brilliant.
But again, it's reality. It's what I have to do. You have to make money, you have to pay bills, you have all that stuff.
Yeah.
So look, again, I'm lucky enough to be in a good company that look after you as well, and they understand. Because obviously I've gone through kind of even when I'm with them, some hard times. Yeah. And they were there and they support you, and you need to go to the doctor or if you have a dentist appointment, there's no problem. And that's good. And when they do that for you, you give them that little bit.
Of course you will, yeah.
That extra as well, so.
Work colleagues are important as well, though, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean, to have the camaraderie as well between them, but.
Brilliant. Next week, Papa, it's just going to be me and you.
Is it?
Yeah, we're going to do an update on the leagues and things like that.
Okay.
Mikey, once again, thanks for coming on. Absolute pleasure, and I wish you all the best, all the luck in the whole wide world. Just give up the Oscars, right? And if you need that and want that, and we can do for you to promote anything you're doing, like that. By the way, you should write a book first of all, anyway. 100%.
I'd love to. I would love to do one. I did. I think I reached out to someone there in 2017 and said, look, someone told me to reach out to this person and said, look, would you be interested in doing a book? And I know, look, it's something that maybe, but I don't know, maybe the time has passed on it, maybe not,
never.
But I think it's something that just to tell a story, because people said it would be a very good, because there's people that I didn't really know said you should do, because I spoke a few times when it happened, but I think now I'm in a better position to properly speak about it and put it into.
You're another guest who was potentially a Netflix documentary.
Oh yeah, Tony Riley.
I wouldn't say that now.
Tony Riley wrote a book, Mikey, and it wouldn't have. His is all gambling sort of and this kind of thing, but you have the professional side of thing to put in as well as the gambling and addiction and people you're hurting, the people you love. Yeah, absolutely. Have a think about it down the line.
Yeah, I definitely would. If anyone wants to reach out anyway.
Yeah, and you're working in the office and start typing up a book.
My wife's no journalist there to get you published, or she was, wasn't you? Lads, the Ampifi jersey is out, Papa. There's only a few left. The order's going on this Friday, so if you want one, get on to me as quick as you can. The order's going in on Friday. We also have our 2-ticket giveaway to the Ireland versus Bulgaria game on the, when is that, 26th of March, is it?
Yeah.
Just to enter, it's free entry. Just share the Facebook post or Instagram post and subscribe to our YouTube page. The draw is going to be is coming up soon. When's it closing? 17th of March. It's closing Paddy's Day.
Paddy's
and all the support is genuinely appreciated. Pop
the
another
18th
one
will
in
be
the
the
bag.
Tuesday, will it? It's 17th is a Monday, is it?
Oh yeah, sure, I'll be in Spain anyway. We'll do it on the Tuesday.
Sure. Christopher Columbus beside me.
Philly as fuck. As always, lads, it's not my podcast.
Not my podcast.
It's Carlos Soccer's podcast. Mikey, thanks very much.
Absolute pleasure.
It's your
Thank you.
podcast. God bless and good luck.
Brilliant. Good stuff, man.
Thanks,
Thanks, Mikey. Thank you.
Brilliant. That was brilliant, man.
Brilliant. Yeah.
That's full time on this episode of the Howsey podcast. Available on all podcasting platforms. Find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter/X. Proudly sponsored by Curra Sports. For more information, contact Shane@currasports.com or check out their website, currasports.com.